Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel, and as you can probably tell by the way this video looks, this is another installment in sort of my collection sort of overview genre by genre, which is how I categorize my collection now, and possibly help me cull stuff. I mean, the last one I did, which was my horror collection, there was absolutely nothing to cull. But we shall see as we go on. I might wean stuff out if I'm just not sure on them. Just because, as you can see, space is not my friend at the moment. So yeah, it'd be good to get rid of some if I can, but that may not be possible. But anyway, starting off, down at the bottom we have, I can get this one out because it's easy enough to get out, 21 Bridges, starring the late Chadwick Boseman. I believe I saw this one at the cinema when it came out, and it's produced by the Russo brothers, and it's a solid thriller. I mean, it's nothing special, but yeah, it's definitely one I would watch again. It's been a while since I've watched it, so it could definitely be one that's due a rewatch. Yeah, one that I enjoyed, like your typical sort of cop thriller. Sort of a different type of role for Chadwick Boseman. Nice to see him obviously do something like this. Also, obviously, was one of his last roles, unfortunately, as well. But yeah, really solid thriller that is. 21 Bridges. Put that one back. And then we're going up here. So down here we go. So next up we have The Accountant. Really surprised me, that film. Surprised me how much I enjoyed it. Yeah, just a really solid sort of action thriller about, I suppose he's like an assassin for hire sort of thing. He has autism, and it's kind of about him sort of dealing with that whilst also doing his job, and the relationships he has with the people around him. But yeah, really good, and I really like the sequel as well. Not sure if I liked it as much as the first one, but yeah, that first one's brilliant. And then next up we have The Accused with Jodie Foster and Kelly McGillis. Really good, but really hard to watch, like sort of thriller from the 80s. I think, I could be wrong, I think Jodie Foster might have won an Oscar for that, I think. It's basically about this young woman who is basically attacked and brutally gang raped in a bar, and there's sort of not much evidence, but you've got Kelly McGillis, who plays her lawyer, who's obviously on her side and trying to get the people that were responsible for it. But there's a lot of people thinking that maybe she lied, maybe she's not telling everyone the whole story, and it kind of goes from there. But really good, but like I said, hard to watch thriller, but would still recommend it. Then next up we have The American with George Clooney. I'm a big George Clooney fan, and it's a decent film. Again, I think he plays like an assassin that's in, I'm sure it's like Italy, a small village in Italy, carrying out like an assignment, and then something happens, I won't say what. But yeah, really beautifully shot film as well, in stunning location, and yeah, one that I personally enjoyed quite a bit. And then we have Angel Heart, classic Alan Parker film with Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro. I suppose I could also technically put that in like a psychological horror, like in the horror section, because there are definitely horrific elements to it. It's also quite a weird film. It's been a while since I watched it, but I think he plays like a private detective from memory, Mickey Rourke does, and he's kind of given work by Robert De Niro's character, who's, whilst they don't say it, it's thought that he's like the devil, and there's something to do with an egg as well, and yeah, I probably could do with a rewatch of that one, to be honest, but remember it being pretty good. And then you got Bad Times at the El Royale, which is one that I've seen quite a few times now. I do like those sorts of films. It's written by, or is it written and directed by, is it Drew Goddard that did Cabin in the Woods? Yeah, Drew Goddard did that one. can't get that back in now. I'll have to put that back in after. But yeah, really good cast. So Jeff Bridges, Cynthia Erivo, Dakota Johnson, John Hamm, Kaylee Spaney, Lewis Pullman, and Chris Hemsworth. All set at sort of this motel that kind of is split upon two sort of counties. And it's very Tarantino-esque, the story. If you've not seen it, if you like Tarantino's films, it's one I would definitely recommend though. Next up we have Berserk. This is a film starring Joan Crawford that Roy put me onto, and another one that I thoroughly enjoyed. The only other actor that comes to mind that I know is in it is Michael Gough, who you may know as playing Alfred in the 89 and the 90s Batman films. Really good film, basically set at this circus, and Joan Crawford runs this circus basically, but people start dying in pretty gruesome ways, which obviously is causing a big impact on her circus and potentially might mean that it has to shut down. So they've got the police really scrutinizing everything that she's doing, really looking into it. It kind of all starts pointing towards her, but I won't say any more. It's really good. Watch it if you like your classic films. I do really need to get into more Joan Crawford films, because I think, shockingly enough, that might be the only one I've ever seen with her in, but I thought she was brilliant in it. Next up we have the Coen brothers' directorial debut with Blood Simple, and in my opinion one of the best directorial debuts there is. Really good sort of like film noir. Very simple story again. Well, it's about it's money that basically gets stolen. It's all set at a club. I mean, just watch it. It's really well done. The soundtrack's brilliant. Very early role for Frances McDormand as well. Yeah, just a really good film. Really recommend that one, Blood Simple. Then next up we have Blue Still, another really underrated thriller. Catherine Bigelow film starring Jamie Lee Curtis. She basically plays a rookie cop that I think is on like her first night or something. Ends up intervening in this like little grocery store, like newsagent's robbery, and ends up killing the suspect. She's then obviously taken off duty, but this guy then starts to form an obsession with her. Really good film. Really recommend that. Then we got Body Heat, which is a fairly recent watch for me, with the great William Hurt and Kathleen Turner. Sort of like an erotic thriller from the early 80s. Another one that I really enjoyed. Kind of didn't see where it was going until it happened. Surprised me quite a bit. Yeah, one that, again, really enjoyed that one. Then we have The Bone Collector, great Denzel Washington, Angelina Jolie sort of cop thriller, where they're trying to catch a deranged like sort of serial killer, but Denzel Washington's character is paralysed, so he's got to basically catch him with the help of Angelina Jolie's rookie cop. Really solid thriller that one is. Then we have another underrated one, The Brave One, starring Jodie Foster. This is like a revenge film. Basically, one evening, her and her partner, played by Naveen Andrews, who most people probably know from being in Lost, they basically get brutally attacked in a park. He ends up being killed. She's left really scarred and mentally damaged by it, but she comes back from it and sort of trains herself up to get vengeance sort of on the people that did it, and just be like this sort of vigilante in New York. Really gritty, really violent thriller that, again, really recommend that one. Then we have Brick, which is Rian Johnson's first film starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it's sort of like a modern noir is the best film way I could explain it. It's basically follows this, I think he's like a high school student, but he basically shines as a private detective trying to investigate the disappearance of this girl that he was friends with, and it's kind of him going down this rabbit hole of finding out what happened to her, and it's a very good film. Really recommend it. It's got is it Lucas Haas, who you can see on the spine. I think he's a pretty underrated actor as well. But yeah, again, really one that I would recommend checking out if you haven't. Then we have the 1991, I think it was. Just trying to find the year on this. Yeah, 1991 remake of Cape Fear, directed by Martin Scorsese. I've not seen the original one yet, but this one is a pretty underrated Scorsese film, I would say. Great performances from Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte. You've got Jessica Lange in there as well, who plays Nick Nolte's character's wife. And yeah, just like about deranged psychopath that follows this family to their like holiday home. Nick Nolte's character was his lawyer, who basically failed him, so he now takes it upon himself to sort of get back in his own way, and things just get worse and worse, and it's very good, very worth. Get my words out. Definitely worth the watch in my opinion. But yeah, they are also doing another remake, but this time in the form of a series for Apple TV, which should be coming out hopefully sometime next year. And that one is going to star Javier Bardem as Max Cady. You've got Amy Adams in the role of the wife, but this time she was the lawyer that defended him. So she'll have more of a main role than the other character. And in this one, her husband, I believe, is being played by Patrick Wilson. So really solid cast, so I'm looking forward to watching that when it comes out. Don't generally like remakes, but that one has interested me. Next up is another recent watch, and that's Chloe, which really great thriller, starring Liam Neeson, Julianne Moore, and Amanda Seyfried. Sort of like another sort of obsession type film. Yeah, another one that I really enjoy. But yeah, I've just realised I've literally just done one pile, and we're already 12 minutes in. So I'm going to speed things up and get through these because there's still quite a few more. And if there's any that I'm not keeping, I'll just pull them out. Collateral, really great. Michael Mann, Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx thriller. Conspiracy Theory, underrated Richard Donner film. Really recommend that if you've not seen it. Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts, Patrick Stewart as the villain. Yeah, great film that is. Then we've got Copland with an incredible performance from Sylvester Stallone, one of his best performances in my opinion. That's a James Mangold film, really good sort of gritty cop thriller from the 90s. Then we have Copycat, another really underrated 90s thriller with Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, Dermot Mulroney as well. You've got, what's his name, from Harry Connick Jr. I was going to say from Hope Floats, because that's the only other film that I can think that he's in. Yeah, really good, like, again, copycat type serial killer thriller that I really enjoyed. Then we have The Crow, which is one of the best first time watches for me. I think was it last year now I watched that? I can't even remember. But just absolutely loved that. Brandon Lee, just brilliant as the lead. You've got Ernie Hudson in there as well. And what's his name? Oh, why am I forgetting his name? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Michael Wincott, who is a fantastic character actor and has played a lot of villains in the past. Then we have Kenneth Branagh's remake of Death on the Nile, the weakest of the three in my opinion, but still an enjoyable film with a good twist, considering I've never seen the original. I don't know how similar it is to that, like the way the story plays out. The cast itself is a little bit controversial now. I'm not going to say who, like, name names, but you look at the cast of that one now, and there's a few faces in there that are a bit questionable. But yeah, anyway. Then we have the 2018 remake of Death Wish, the Eli Roth one, starring Bruce Willis. Really enjoyed this. One of Bruce's, probably his last great film that he did. I haven't seen the original, but thoroughly enjoyed it. I think Roy was of the same opinion as me, as he thinks he liked it a bit more than the original. But I have yet to see the original one films. I think there was 3 or 4, I think. But yeah, really good action. Well, it could be an action film, I suppose, actually. Then we have Deja Vu, underrated Denzel Washington, Tony Scott collaboration. Also got a great performance from Val Kilmer in there as well. Destroyer, Nicole Kidman, great cop thriller. She's a bit mental in it, but brilliant performance from her in that one. If you think she's kind of not done anything good recently or in a few years, check that out because she's brilliant in that, and it's a decent film as well. Of course, I've then got Dirty Harry on 4K. Would love to see the other ones get 4K releases as well, because I just love all of the Dirty Harry films. And it looks great on 4K, the first one. Don't Look Now is one that I am tempted to cull from the collection, but I'm not going to for now, because it's one that I think does definitely deserve a rewatch. It's a very highly regarded film, and it may just be that it's one that I just didn't get on the first watch. I just didn't appreciate. I will say that ending's one of the most disturbing endings I've seen. It really freaked the hell out of me afterwards. Does leave you thinking. It stays in your mind for a while afterwards. But it was a bit slow for me, which is why I didn't like it as much as I'd hoped to. Then we have The Ghost, another recent watch, Roman Polanski film. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. Why am I going from there? No, let's go up from the bottom. Sorry, I don't know why I did it that way then. Double Jeopardy, really great 90s thriller starring Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones, like a cat and mouse thriller. Do enjoy those. Dream House, which again I suppose you could kind of put in the horror category, but it's more of a psychological thriller to me, I think. Daniel Craig, Naomi Watts, Rachel Weisz, like a sort of a ghost story. Yeah, really like that one. Then we have Edge of Darkness with Mel Gibson, one that I need to rewatch because I can't remember anything about it other than I think he plays a cop and I think his daughter gets killed. And I know Ray Winston's in it as well, but yeah, can't remember too much about that one. Then we have End of Watch, which is a David Ayer film starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. Quite a unique way to film it because quite a bit of it is shown through like their body cams and like footage from their car. But yeah, decent film. One I probably wouldn't go back to that much, but still worth in the collection, I think, because it's not a bad film. And then we have the excellent Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Yeah, absolutely great 90s thriller there. We have The Family with Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer, and also Tommy Lee Jones again. Really solid, like crime sort of thriller. Yeah, need to watch that one again. The Fan, another underrated Tony Scott film, again with Robert De Niro. You can tell I'm a Robert De Niro fan, can't you? Wesley Snipes as well. Like an obsession film again, much like one of the most famous obsession films, which is next, Fatal Attraction. Obviously Michael Douglas and the brilliant Glenn Close. Obviously the rabbit scene everybody knows about, the Bunny Boylan scene or whatever they call it. But yeah, great film. Firewall, a really underrated mid-noughties Harrison Ford thriller. Basically got to try and protect his family, that sort of thing. Flight Plan, super underrated Jodie Foster film. Yeah, you got Sean Penn in it. Not Sean Penn, Sean Bean. Said the wrong Sean. And yeah, really underrated. If you like a good twisty sort of thriller, I do recommend that one. Then we have The Game with Michael Douglas. This time this one has got Sean Penn in it though. Yeah, great Fincher film. Only seen it the once. Down the lower end of Fincher films for me, but I don't think Fincher's really done too many bad films in my opinion. Then we have the original The Getaway with Steve McQueen. Yeah, really like this. Ali McGraw as well. I think it's a Peckinpah film as well. Really solid 70s thriller there. I've already talked about The Ghost. Then we will move on to these ones here. So we've got the 90s Getaway with Alec Baldwin, Kim Basinger and Michael Madsen. Yeah, fun enough remake. I don't like it as much as the 70s one, but it's still enjoyable, definitely. Then we have Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai with Forest Whitaker, very much a slow burn of a film, and another one that I'm kind of contemplating getting rid of. But again, I think it might be one that is deserving of another watch, just to confirm whether or not I'm going to keep it or not. And then we have Gone Girl, top 3 Fincher films for me, I think. Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, just a really great thriller. What does it say there? You don't know what you've got till it's Gone Girl. Yeah, really nice sort of like digipack this was put out like. I think it's Carrie Coon in there as well. Neil Patrick Harris, Tyler Perry. Yeah, really recommend that one if you've not seen it. Then we have, let's move these out of the way, those to put away. The Girl on the Train. One that I remember watching for the first time and not getting on too much with. And then I rewatched it a few years later and I really enjoyed it. You got Emily Blunt. I think Justin Theroux's in there. Luke Evans, I think, if I remember rightly. And Hayley Bennett, Rebecca Ferguson. Yeah, I remember having a really good cast. And yeah, DreamWorks produced film as well, so Spielberg had little involvement in that, but he still put his name behind it, I suppose. Another great Fincher film there, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Daniel Craig, Rooney Mara, you got Christopher Plummer in there. Just a really good, like, crime thriller again, I suppose, detective, mystery sort of thriller, I suppose. But I love films like set in this like sort of environment, like in Sweden or Norway, like in the snow. So yeah, really ticked a lot of boxes for me, that one. Then we have the third of the Kenneth Branagh Poirot films, A Haunting in Venice, which definitely took a turn and went more horror, and I think it was for the better. I think it really refreshed his take on Poirot. It was very interesting seeing this like sort of supernatural element to a Poirot story, and it again has another really great ensemble cast in this one. So yeah, love to see another one. I'd love to see him keep doing Poirot films because I do love those sorts of films and watching them in the cinema especially. Then we have Indecent Proposal, Robert Redford, Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson, just a classic thriller. Then we have The Informer, which is a film starring Joel Kinnaman as the lead. You've got Anna de Armas in there, Rosamund Pike, Clive Owen, I think Common's in there as well. A decent little film. I remember seeing it at the cinema. I've not seen it since, so again, one that I probably need to rewatch. And again, I could rewatch it and think it's a load of rubbish, but I remember there being a scene at the end. I'm pretty sure it's in a prison, and it's like a shootout type scene. And I remember that's the most I remember from the film. So yeah, definitely need to rewatch that. Another Clive Owen film next, Inside Man with Denzel Washington, Jodie Foster, Christopher Plummer's in this one as well. Really good, like sort of bank heist hostage sort of thriller, directed by Spike Lee. Then we have The Interpreter, Sidney Pollack's final film, starring Nicole Kidman and Sean Penn. Yeah, decent little thriller that is. Jackie Brown, underrated Tarantino film in my opinion. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. We then have Jagged Edge with Jeff Bridges and Glenn Close, another sort of like cop mystery murder thriller where everything's pointing towards one person and you all think it could be that person, but is it? Then we have Juror Number 2, Clint Eastwood's most recent film with Nicholas Hoult as the lead. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. Got a decent supporting cast in it as well. Then we have Peter Berg's film The Kingdom. Solid little thriller that is, with Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman, Chris Cooper. Yeah, did enjoy that one as well. Then we got Shane Black's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer. Probably my favourite Shane Black film is either that or it's got to be The Nice Guys. Just love both of those films. We then have Knives Out, Rian Johnson's Whodunit with Daniel Craig as Detective Benoit Blanc, or Private Detective I think he is. Yeah, really good, kind of brought back the Whodunit. Then we have LA Confidential, just a classic 90s thriller. Just going to pause very quickly and then I'll be back to finish off the rest of the thrillers.